So this game will come down to those third down conversions. Who can convert those third down conversions and the other things that I mentioned earlier. And with that, we say welcome into the hottest sports podcast South. Sentell on an Overreaction Monday, November 4th, 2018. Again, welcome into the show. Great weekend, NFL, a few decent games in college football. We have a Monday night football game tonight. Cowboys and Giants. But we'll talk about that a little bit later in the program. Again, you know who this is. I'm Sentell Wideman, the sensational Sentell Wideman, also known as Mr. No Days Off, also known as the One Man Dynasty. So you can call me either one, whatever you want to do. But welcome to the show. Lots to dive into, lots to get into on this Overreaction Monday. I must apologize early in the program. There will be no phone calls tonight. I cannot take no phone calls tonight. I have some technical difficulties for us that go, but I can read your comments. I can read your questions all right there. So if you got a comment, you got a question, things you want to talk about, you can just text them right there and I'll see them and I'll answer them as they come. So where do we begin? Let's go to last night's NFL Sunday night football game. It was the Ravens defeating the previously undefeated New England Patriots 37-20 behind a strong performance behind Lamar Jackson, and also the Baltimore Ravens defense played tremendous. Baltimore jumped up early, got to a big lead. Patriots cut it down, got it close. Then the Ravens sealed it off at the end with a couple of touchdowns and a few defensive stops. So big win for the Ravens. An even bigger win for the Lamar Jackson supporters. This guy is proven to be more than just a running quarterback. Proven to be a guy who can be smart, who can figure things out, who can process information. So just big shout outs to Lamar and the Ravens. They always play the Patriots tough. It seems no matter what year, who the Ravens have, they always seem to play the Patriots very tough. So good win for them. We can talk about that if you want to get into that, but we're going to skip back. You know, we go backwards first before we come back to the NFL, so we'll go back to Saturday. But if you want to get in and talk about that, you can just comment about the Ravens and Patriots game last night. But let's just kind of jump into this college weekend. You know, Clemson played a game this week. It was Military Appreciation Day. They always wear their purple jerseys, so it was completely purple from head to toe, from neck down. Not the airmen, but always a great deal when they do the Military Appreciation Day for our military. So always a big thing. The game was not contest. We knew it wouldn't be. Playing Wofford. Wofford got a nice check. They come get the head beat in, and that's what they did. Clemson beat 59-14. So yeah, good win for the Tigers. ETN had like 200 yards on 9 carries. So Trevor played okay, no turnovers. Nothing to base this off of. Again, Wofford, they play NC State this weekend. Shouldn't be another merch challenge presented to the Tigers as they take on NC State. The Gamecocks get back on the winning trail. They defeat Vanderbilt 24-7, improved to 4-5. If you can improve to 4-5, if there is such a thing as improving to 4-5, they do beat Vandy. But the story was Brian Edwards, senior receiver, had 14 catches for $139 and a touchdown. So good to see Brian Edwards' in his last go around with the team, make some impactful plays during the game. So it was good to see from Brian Edwards. Let's move on to some other games. Note from the weekend in college football, it was Oregon. Quack, quack. The Ducks all over USC, 56-24. Ducks got contributions from the defense, from the special teams, offense. They are rounding into a very, very, very complete football team. I told you at the beginning of the season how high I was on the Ducks. They now improved to 8-1 overall, 6-0 in the Pac-12. Beware of the Ducks. Also in the Pac-12, told you about Utah. Told you Utah was really good. They win 33-28 and on the road against Washington. Improved to 8-1, 5-1 in the conference. So this is going down the road of an Oregon Utah Pac-12 championship. And I think at the end of the day, the winner should definitely be in the playoffs. That's how I feel. I feel like the winner of the Pac-12 with one loss should definitely be in the playoffs. So we are heading to an Oregon-Utah showdown for the Pac-12 championship and a possibly berth the college football playoffs. Speaking of the college football playoffs, the first college football playoff rankings will be revealed tomorrow night. And if you care to tune in for those type of things. But as you know, the biggest game of the weekend was down in Jacksonville with the number 6th ranked Florida Gators taking on the number 8th ranked Georgia Bulldogs in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Georgia prevails 24-17 behind a strong performance from Jake State Farm. He went 20 for 30 for 279 yards and 2 TDs. As you heard in the opening of the show, told you guys last week what this game would come down to. And lo and behold, that's what it came down to. Third down conversions. I told you this game would come down to third down conversions. And was I ever right about this? And some of the other points that I made in this about this ball game. Georgia, who I told you last week ranked 76th in third down conversion, went 12 of 18 on third down. That is almost unheard of. And conversely, Florida went 2 of 9 on third down. In other words, defensively, Florida could not get off the field. Offensively, Florida could not stay on the field. And that is the difference in the ball game. Among other things, Georgia's offensive line, got to give them big time credit. We could not sniff Jake Fromm. They did an outstanding job. The Thomas kid is a NFL left tackle. He was a stout. He was outstanding. Again, we could not get to this guy. I am a little disappointed from a coaching standpoint from Florida. I thought that we would be more aggressive, play more man-to-man type coverages against Jake Fromm. Chose to play a lot more zone. I haven't replayed the game yet. I will soon. And if you play zone, and if you can't get pressure, Jake Fromm is going to beat you. He's good enough to do that. He's made enough plays in this league. If you give him time, if you play zone, he's going to pick that apart. He is going to pick that apart. And that's exactly what he did. A lot of zone coverage. Couldn't get to him. And he made all the throws he needed to make, including the game-clinching throw on the 3rd down and 7. That if Florida had got a stop, they would have got the ball back with a chance to tie the game. They never got the ball back. So, kudos to Georgia. Nice win. Probably going to win the SEC East now and go on to Atlanta. As for Florida fans, I need you to calm down. I need you to be realistic with yourself. I picked Georgia at the beginning of the season to win the SEC East because I was being very, very objective. I thought Florida could win 10 games. That is very much on the table still. I posted about the 4-game stretch that we had coming up. I thought realistically, 2-2. And that's what happened. We went 2-2 in that stretch and played the 2 teams that we lost to very competitively. I know the score won't show in LSU because it's a 14-point game, but we moved the ball up and down the field. Was right there in the game. In this game here, you're one possession down. So, and it sucks. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing. Really starting, really starting to hate losing to Georgia. I just not liking losing to Georgia. So it sucks. But congrats to them as they get the win on Saturday. Where do I want to go? Because that's pretty much all I want to talk about in college football. I figured by now I'll have some comments. I can't take phone calls, so that kind of sucks today. I apologize for that. So where do we want to go? We can just talk about some off the field type stuff in the NFL before we get second half of the program, which is mostly NFL. News out of Philly. Son Jackson is likely out for the year. That is a big blow for a guy who just came back. And could definitely help this offense that struggles mightily, and so he's out for the season. Talked about that last week. Make the NFL stuff program. So let's go back to the Eagles, not the Eagles, but the OBJ and the Browns stuck it up yesterday again, and I don't know. I don't know. I picked the Browns to win the AFC North. I picked the Falcons to win the NFC South. Right now, I look like a fool, a buffoon. Look like a damn fool. But no, you know what? We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll do the NFL schedule, and we'll talk about the NFL as much as we possibly can, and I'll stay as long as I can after I get through going through the NFL schedule. So I'm not gonna. Let's go take a break, and then we'll come back. Then we'll do the NFL schedule. Go through the games, game by game, and we'll talk about that on the other side of this break. But don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. It's the best damn sports podcast, period. Sentell with your boy, a.k.a. Mr. No Days Off, a.k.a. the One Man Dynasty. We will be right back. Yo, welcome back to the program. You know what this is, the highest sports podcast and stuff. Sentell. Let's get into the NFL schedule from yesterday. Week 9 of the NFL schedule. It began on Thursday night when the 49ers defeated the Arizona Cardinals 48-25 behind a brilliant performance behind Jimmy G. The 49ers improved to 8-0, and right now, currently stand as the only undefeated team in the National Football League. Yesterday over in Europe, it was the Texans defeating the Jaguars. The Texans improved to 6-3. Jags dropped to 4-5. Deshaun Watson was brilliant yesterday, even with a bad eye. 26-3 Texans over Jags. Texans are now in the lead in the AFC South by half a game. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. It was the Eagles defeating the Bears yesterday, 22-14. And look, I don't want to do this every week. I don't want to come here every week and just kill Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears offense. I don't want to do that every week. But they make it so god dang easy. Mitchell Trubisky is just awful. This Bears offense is pathetic. And they got this, I told you, they got this offensive genius, at coach. They got this offensive guru, Matt Nagy, and he can't seem to figure this thing out. This game was 19-0 at one point. The Bears did make it interesting. They scored a couple touchdowns early in the fourth quarter to kind of make this thing a game. But they were just horrible. Horrible. Mitchell Trubisky yesterday. Listen to these numbers. NFL quarterback. Today's game. Keep in mind, NFL quarterbacks today. The game is meant for you to throw the football. It is rigged for you to throw the football. It's meant for you to put up these huge astronomical numbers. That's what it's made for. But Mitchell Trubisky can't seem to get his own way. 10 of 21 yesterday for $125. 10 of 21 for $125 yesterday. Can you believe that? No TDs. 10 completions for $125 yesterday against a Philadelphia Eagles defense that we know you can have success on in the passing game, and they were not able to take advantage of that. How bad is it in Chicago right now? How bad is it? I mean, Bears fan. I don't know many Bears fans, so I can't really check them out like that because I don't know a whole lot of Bears fans. They dropped to 3-5 yesterday. Again, one of my bad picks. I think I picked the winning division. I did. And they're horrible. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. They're not. 3-5. Trubisky stinks. Bears offense looked horrible. And it's funny that I mentioned the Texans score before, which I Deshaun Watson. Then you mentioned Mitchell Trubisky. And you can't not say Deshaun Watson and Mitchell Trubisky in the same sentence and not understand that the Bears chose Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. That happened, people. Ladies and gentlemen, that happened. Some GM let that happen. Thought that it was the best of for business to choose Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. Someone thought this. They thought this was a good idea. But nevertheless, let's move along. Bears dropped 3-5. Eagles improved to 5-4. So they sit half a game behind the Cowboys. It was the Steelers over the Colts 26-24. All of a sudden, the Steelers have won 2 straight games. The story of the game: the Colts starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett got injured early yesterday. Had to bring in Brian Hoyer. He did some good things. He did some not so good things. He's Brian Hoyer. Steelers made some plays defensively. Micah Fitzpatrick, the guy that the Dolphins traded away, like most of their roster, had a 98-yard interception return yesterday. He's brought a lot of life to this defense. Couple of picks. He had a few picks since he's been at Pittsburgh already. Made a big difference in the secondary. So Steelers back-to-back wins. Fighting to stay alive in the playoff race. It was, drum roll please. It was the Dolphins getting their first win of the season, beating the goddamn Jets 26-18. And man, oh man, I didn't think no one could be worse than the Dolphins. I really didn't believe this. But then I watched the Jets play yesterday. And they were god awful. The Dolphins got a win. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 3 TD passes. Preston Williams caught a couple. Devontae Parker caught one. And the Dolphins got a win yesterday. Jets fall to 1-7. The Dolphins improved to 1-7. If you can improve to 1-7, if that's such a thing. It was the Chiefs minus Pat Mahomes defeating the Vikings yesterday. Again, I must say this. Every time you believe in Kirk Cousins, every time you want to start believing in Kirk Cousins, he does this. This is what he does. He did not play well yesterday. His numbers would look okay in the stat book, but he did not play well yesterday. He did not make the plays that need to be made, and he made some horrible decisions late in the ball game yesterday. That kind of cost him yesterday in the ball game because they did lead in this game 23-20, and ultimately lost 26-23. So again, Matt Moore filling in for Pat Mahomes, played okay. Tyreek Hill had a touchdown, a couple sensational catches and runs. The long run by Williams, 91-yard rushing TD, longest in Kansas City Chiefs history. You can believe that. They've been around forever. Chiefs is like one of the original franchises in the NFL. So to have that record broke, incredible. The Vikings fall to 6-3. Chiefs improved to 6-3. Yeah, 6-3. Chiefs go to 6-3. Vikings fall to 6-3. It was the Panthers from a big time performance from Christian McCaffrey over the Titans, 30-20 yesterday. Panthers improved to 5-3. Titans dropped to 4-5. But the story of the game was Christian McCaffrey, CMC, dynamite, spectacular again, over 100 yards rushing, 30 plus receiving, 2 TDs, 3 TDs. I stand corrected. 2 rushing TDs, 1 receiving TD. He was outstanding yesterday. It's a case that can be made that this guy is the best back in the entire NFL, and I will not debate or argue against that. If you want to call him the best back in the league, I will not argue or debate with you about that. I see that guy is outstanding. Outstanding. It was the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, improving to 6-2 yesterday after a win over the Washington Redskins, who started rookie quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Buffalo has a real good defense, so we're expecting a whole lot of him. The Redskins fall to 1-8. Adrian Peterson, however, had over 100 yard rushing, and I mentioned that the Bills in the same game. Frank Gore is now the 4th all-time leading rusher in NFL history. Got to give it up for Frank Gore, playing in Buffalo, like 300 years old, and still carrying the ball and still surpassing people on the rushing list. Now 4th on the all-time NFL rushing list. Got to give respect to Frank Gore. Bills improved. Josh Allen did some okay things, but the Bills improved to 6-2. See what they do Sunday. In an entertaining wild game that went to overtime yesterday, it was the Seahawks defeating the Buccaneers. And man, Russell, last name Wilson, he was outstanding yesterday. Should have won the game in regulation with a drive. He made a great drive to get it in field goal range before the end of regulation. Kicker misses the field goal. Gets the ball in overtime, the first possession, drives it right down the field, throws a touchdown pass. Man, oh man. Russell is worth every penny that they are paying him in Seattle. He just gets it done. I don't give a damn what you put out there. And now you add in Josh Gordon with a emerging DK Metcalf, the rookie receiver, plus Tyler Lockett. This offense is going to start looking a little scary for teams because Chris Carson can run it. Guess who they get to play Monday night? Next Monday night. Next Monday night is the Seahawks and 49ers, a rivalry renewed rivalry, the hated, bitter rivalry. Seahawks and Niners next Monday night football. Jimmy G, Russell Wilson. Should be fun. Seahawks improved to 6-2. Buccaneers are terribly 2-6, but Jameis did play okay. I mean, they drove the ball. Mike Evans did some nice things. Again, they can do a lot of things offensively when they're right. When Jameis is right, not turning it over, they're one of the scariest offenses. But what a fun game yesterday, 40-34 Seahawks. Another entertaining game yesterday. It was the Raiders defeating the Lions 31-24. Derek Carr and the Raiders are 4-4. Much improved. Josh Jacobs has given them an identity at the running back position. Loving it. Loving Darren Waller, the tight end. If you haven't heard his story, you should check his story out. He's a great story. So all of a sudden, John Gruden and the Raiders second in the AFC West at 4-4. That's a good win of a good Detroit team who dropped to 3-4. Like I said, Detroit has lost a lot of games, like the one possession games. They tied one time. I mean, they have been in every ball game. Matt Stafford threw it all over the lot yesterday. Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones over the last few weeks has just been out of his damn mind. TJ Hawkinson, the rookie tight end from Iowa, is starting to really come of age and really blossom in this offense. So Raiders down Lions 31-24, and a bit of a shocker yesterday. The Chargers defeated the Green Bay Packers 26-11. That's why I said 26-11. They held Aaron Rodgers in check pretty much all day long. Never let Aaron Jones get loose. And inexplicably, the Chargers, who you never know. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get the Chargers. They improved to 4-5. Melvin Gordon had a touchdown yesterday. And it was about the defense. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, those guys, Kevin King, Cam Hayward. Not Hayward, defensive back, Vanderbilt. He's really good. They shut down the Packers yesterday. Devontae Adams came back. It didn't help at all. So Chargers get a win over the Packers. It was the Broncos 24, the Browns 19. I mean, the Browns are a mess. Baker Mayfield is a mess. The Browns are a mess. They should have never hired Freddie Kitchens. He's a mess. He's not head coach material. This is problems. They lost to a guy yesterday who had never started an NFL game. Just bad stuff. Odell Beckham was open a few times yesterday. Baker didn't hit him. One would have been a touchdown. And you know what? We give Odell Beckham a lot of crap. But if he was to snap today, say something snarky in the media about Baker Mayfield, he would deserve it. This guy is one of the best receivers in the entire league. You have to get him the ball. Even when he's covered, he's not covered. And you have to understand this as a quarterback, that you have a special talent at the wide receiver position, and yet you refuse to utilize him at all. So it is just awful. It stinks. Cleveland stinks again. What a dumpster fire. Cannot believe I put my faith in these guys. 2-6. And this team beat Baltimore. This team beat the Ravens early in the season. And now they just losing to the Broncos with guys who ain't never started an NFL game. It just defies all logic, but the coach has to go to me. This is an epic failure by Baker, an epic failure by the coach. This team is entirely too talented to be 2-6. There is not another handful of rosters in the NFL that are better on paper than the Cleveland Browns. And they are 2-6 in a division that is not that good. What the hell? And then I mentioned last night's game, Ravens over the Pats, man, big time game for my man Lamar Jackson, showing all the haters, all the doubters that he can get it done. So it was good to see the Ravens get that win yesterday, knocking the Patriots from the unbeaten ranks, which means they only leaves one. There only leaves one undefeated team in the entire NFL, and that is the San Francisco 49ers, baby. Undefeated, but the Ravens get the win. They improved to 6-3. I do believe 6-2. I believe 6-2. The Ravens 6-2, leading the AFC North by 2 games over the Steelers. Bengals, they're trash. They had a bye week. Thank God, America watched them. They're also making a change at quarterback. Andy Dalton is getting benched, so they're moving on from him. Stay a few more minutes, maybe get a comment or two before I get out of here. And I'm not gonna try to stretch this thing out tonight. As I figure it's an overreaction show, you expect that have more traffic, a little more content to come through. Like I said, it was a light weekend in college football. We discussed the biggest game of the weekend. I think we get more in depth than that. I did try to get more in depth as I could. Talked about Oregon, talked about Utah. like you mentioned, that the college football playoff rankings will be out tomorrow, the first initial. And of course, you got a big game this weekend with Alabama and LSU. Also, it's a big game in the Big Ten. Penn State travels to Minnesota, undefeated. So we have 4 teams that are playing, 4 teams that are undefeated, and we have 2 games between those 4 teams. So the 2 teams gonna leave not having with a loss. So we'll be down from 8 to like 6 by the end of the day of undefeated teams in the FBS. Speaking of undefeated teams, Baylor continues to be undefeated. They won Thursday night, so Baylor's undefeated. Minnesota's undefeated. Penn State. I mentioned the rest of the team. So Bama, LSU this week from Tuscaloosa. I will have more about that game on Thursday night. I will be on Thursday night, not Friday night this week. I will be on Thursday night this week and not Friday. 8 o'clock Thursday. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock show Thursday. If it changes, I will let you people know. I want to thank the one guy for viewing and watching the show. I appreciate you. So, with that being said, let me get out of here. This has been another wonderful edition of Sentell's Overreaction Monday, but not a whole lot of overreacting going on. But I'm still gonna be here for you people because that's what I do. Come here, do this, share this knowledge with you, and got your hair, got your weight, enjoy your Monday Night Football. I know a lot of Cowboy fans already because it's the Cowboys tonight. So America will be locked in and see what the Cowboys win or lose. So enjoy the Cowboys and Giants on Monday Night Football. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and last weekend of college football and NFL, and look forward to this weekend. 2 big matchups: Penn State at Minnesota, they both undefeated. Also LSU at Alabama. Look like Tua will play, so I hope he does. No excuses. LSU beat them. No excuses. So for the boy, the one, aka Mr. No Days Off, the one man dynasty, Wesley Sentell. This has been the hottest sports podcast. Stop the best damn sports podcast. Period. This has been Sentell. I will see you guys Thursday night. Peace.